Hello students, once again welcome to English Literature Classroom. Today, once again I am going to teach that very same book echoes a collection of ISC short stories and that very same chapter B. Wordsworth by V.S. Naipaul. Okay, this story I have been teaching since long time and today I am going to complete it. I am going to start with page number 123 and page number 124, that is the last page. Okay, today I am going to complete it. Now let's recap a little bit. I hope you have forgotten it. So let's recap. The story starts with narrator's mother, who was a hospitable lady. Every day beggars used to come to their house and she used to give them alms. One day a stranger visited their house. He did not want alms, instead he wanted to watch the bees. At first, the narrator's mother was unwilling to allow him to enter the house. Later, she allowed. Later, we come to know that the stranger's name was B. Wordsworth. B. Wordsworth wanted to sell poetry to them. Narrator's mother did not buy it. B. Wordsworth went away sadly. Fortunately, the narrator met him one day and went to B. Wordsworth's house and had juicy mangoes over there. He returned home later, therefore, his mother bade him, and thus the narrator ran away from his house and took shelter in B. Wordsworth's house. Thus, the life goes on. Okay. Many more incidents took place, and to know about all those incidents you have to watch all my videos which I made earlier. Okay, and now let's start with page number 123. Clear? Now let's start. When I nodded, he laughed at in a crooked way. He said, I sing calypsos. Okay, he said, I sing calypsos. Now narrator asked B. Wordsworth about his profession. At that time, what did he tell? He told that he sings calypsos. Now what is calypsos? Calypsos is a style of music. Okay, it's a style of music, and that lasts to the rest of the year. Narrator is asking to B. Wordsworth, it's enough, but you will be the richest man in the world when you write the greatest poem. Narrator is telling to B. Wordsworth. He did not reply anything. One day when I went to see him in his little house, I found him lying on his little bed. One day narrator went to his house and found that B. Wordsworth was lying in his little bed. He looked so old and so weak that I found myself wanting to cry, and narrator wanted to cry to see B. Wordsworth such a critical condition. He said the poem is not going well. He was not looking at me. Okay, look, B. Wordsworth was not looking at the narrator. He was looking through the window at the coconut tree, and he was also not watching what the narrator was doing. He was speaking as though I wasn't there. He said, when I was 20, I felt the power with myself. Then almost in front of my eyes, I could see his face growing older. Okay, what did narrator see? That B. Wordsworth's face is growing older. Okay, and then I felt it so keenly. It was as though I had been slapped by my mother. I could see it clearly on his face. It was there for everyone to see. Death was shrinking on B. Wordsworth's face. Okay, narrator could see that death was shrinking in B. Wordsworth's face. He looked at me and saw my tears and sat up. He said, come. I went and sat on his knees. He looked into my eyes and he said, oh, you can see in it too. I always knew you had the poet's side. Now B. Wordsworth is telling to narrator that narrator always had the poet side. He did not even look sad, and that made me burst and cry out loudly. Now narrator was crying out loudly because of B. Wordsworth's critical condition. He pulled me to his thin chest and said, do you want me to tell you a funny story? And he smiled encouragingly at me. And now he started telling a story. I could not reply. Narrator did not reply anything. He said, when I have finished the story, I want you to promise. Now B. Wordsworth is telling to the narrator that after telling the story, he had to promise one thing. And what was the promise? That narrator had have to go away from B. Wordsworth's house forever and ever. I nodded. Narrator nodded. He said, good, well, listen the story. Now the story starts. I told you about the boy poet. Look, I means here B. Wordsworth. B. Wordsworth told narrator that he told him about the boy poet and the girl poet. And now he's telling that all these things are all not true. They are all false. B. Wordsworth had just made it up. At all this talk about poetry and the greatest poem in the world, that was not true. Everything was false. Okay, now B. Wordsworth is telling to narrator that everything is not, and now he's telling that isn't that the funniest thing ever heard? But his voice broke. I left the house as per promise. The narrator left the house and ran away crying like a poet for everything. I walked along Alberta Street. Now narrator walked along Alberta Street a year later. Okay, 1 year completed. But I could find no sign of the poet's house. And at that point of the time, after 1 year, there was no sign of the poet's house. It had vanished, just like it had been pulled down and a big 2-story building had taken its place. The mango tree, the palm tree, the coconut tree, nothing was there, all cut down. And there was a brick and concrete everywhere. It was just as though B. Wordsworth had never existed. Okay, from the appearance it looked, from the street appearance, that Beaver's was not there. Okay, in this way the story ends. Okay, now in my next video I will come with some other thing, okay, some other new thing. Now students, what you have to do, you have to read the story again and again, you have to watch through all the videos, okay, then you have to answer the questions. Okay, for questions you can prefer the go to the workbook and see what type of questions are there. Okay, or I can also give you questions. Clear? You have to read the story again and again. Until then, we will meet again in the next video. Until then, goodbye.